Tyson. So great to see you once again, albeit
I'll
via
just give you
Zoom.
this fantastic smile as well, Christina.
Thank you so much. And you know what? He talked about it. It's your homecoming. It's been years that you've, fought here now in the U.S., and we've had a pleasure to see that ringside. But now you take all those belts and go back home. I know that means a little something, just a little something special for you, right?
Absolutely amazing. I'm overwhelmed with the amount of support I've had in the last few years. And it was only fitting of me to come back home and give the British fight fans what they deserve. The big fight at home that everyone's been gunning for a long time. And it's finally arriving. We're just over a week away. Both camps are looking forward to the fight, and we've both put it all on the line. And we're going to give everything we've got on the night, and I'm sure the fans are going to be made up with the action that we're going to bring.
Yeah, 94,000 people expected
crazy amount of people.
At Wembley.
That's crazy. Only in England. Only in England.
Insane. And
what I've heard, Christina, is after this fight, they're going to make me the national patron saint of England. It's going to be St. Tyson instead of St. George.
What are you going to say about that? You go in there and you take care of business. And
I'll gladly take the post of the new patron saint of England.
And with that, let me bring in Bob Arum. Bob, are you joining us? Are you here?
Yeah. How are you? Hey, Tyson.
Hey, Bob.
How are you?
Good.
Getting ready to come over to your side of the water.
Good. Welcome to my world, Bob.
Right. Good. I'm looking forward to it.
I've been in your world for a long time. Now you're coming across the pond to see me.
I know. I was with some Vegas people last night, and they're bemoaning the fact that they're not seeing you over here in this upcoming fight. But I told them that you belong to England as much as you do to the United States.
And we've got to break some records, Bob. We've got to break all records in UK with its massive
Bob,
gate.
let me ask you about that. Bob, Ali Spinks 2, I believe, was the largest attendance-wise fight that you've promoted in your career. And if this one, 80,000 in the first day, possibly 94, would this be the largest fight attendance?
But previously, the biggest, from attendance standpoint, that I promoted was John Tate and Harry Coetzee in South Africa, in Pretoria, 82,000 people.
Wow. So this is set at this point in your career to break that record and to do it with this man, Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte. Who better to you, right?
That is correct, because only Tyson could bring out an outpouring of fans like we've seen here in the UK.
It's going to be an epic.
I'm bringing sexy back.
Well, of course, we could chat for days, but we have a ton of media that is on the call. This is a media conference call, so
I wasn't aware. I thought it was just us.
I mean, you and I've done this once, twice before with just the two of us and nobody else at a press conference. So we have had the experience, but we will now get to all the media that is waiting. If you would like to ask a question to Frank, to Bob, to Tyson, and then, as I mentioned, Dillian Whyte will be joining us after on the call as well. Either raise your hand or message Evan Korn, and we will get you into the queue as we get prompted for our first question. We're going to go to Dan Rafael. Dan, your question and to who it's for?
Hey, thank you very much, Christina. My first question is for Tyson. Are you there, Tyson Fury?
Hi, Dan. Hope you're well, buddy.
I'm doing great. It's good to talk to you, Tyson. I wondered if you could just give me your perspective on what it means to you and the significance to you to be fighting at home for the first time after having your last several fights and making a very big name for you around the world and in America in your last 3 fights with Wilder, but now going home finally, and not only going home, but doing so in not just any old event, but as has been discussed, what will probably break the record for the biggest attendance in the history of British boxing.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, Dan. I've been on the road since 2018. I've been in some tough fights around the world, and it's finally good to come back to break all records on UK soil in such a long time, to be fighting at the National Stadium in Wembley, London. It just shows you how much the fans support me, and I'm overwhelmed. Like I said earlier, I'm overwhelmed with the support that I've been showing since the comeback, really, since the second career. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I just want to say a massive thank you to every person who bought a ticket, who made this event possible, because not only me and the promoters and the opponents made this event happen. Without the fans, then there would be no event. That's a fact. So we owe a massive thank you to everybody who spent their hard-earned money on a ticket, and we're going to entertain like nothing we've ever seen before.
So I'll ask you this, Tyson. Are you, first of all, you're not going to be facing Deontay Wilder for the first time in a while, so that's got to be a change of pace for you. If you could discuss finally facing somebody different, but also how surprised are you that there was? I mean, I knew there'd be a big crowd, but are you a little bit surprised that it's that big, that they have welcomed you with this much open arms, and it's become this big of an event, and not just a good, solid, big time heavyweight title fight, but the biggest of all time?
Yeah, I'm not surprised, because I knew how much support I'd been getting over social media and fan mail and stuff. I knew how much people have appreciated the comeback and the mental health return and all that. So I wasn't surprised, but to sell Wembley out in like a few hours, that was it was crazy for me, and it was really happy times for me and my family. Not only because of the fight that got made with me and Dylan on All British Showdown, but like I say, for all these people to show the love that I've been shown in this massive event, it's absolutely fantastic. And to be home back in England, the capital city, Wembley, it's fantastic. I can't really say much more than I'm overwhelmed, and it's absolutely fantastic to be a part of this massive event. It's going to be a great night of boxing and a real show, as we always do.
Thank you, Dan. Up next, Jeremy Harridges. Jeremy, go ahead.
Hi, Tyson. Thank you for taking the time. I know that you've talked about the possibility of retirement. Some people within your circle have said that's not true. Where are you in your mind with the idea of retirement at this moment?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm only thinking about Dillian Whyte at this moment. I'm not thinking about retirement. That'll all come after I've had a fight. We'll think about what's going to happen and what the future holds for me. At the minute, I've got a massive task in Dylan. A lot of people are underestimating Dillian Whyte, but not me. I give the guy all the respect he's deserved throughout the training camp. I've been training since January. I've been breaking all records in the gym. I've been feeling good, looking good. So yeah, I've not underestimated this guy. I've given him the respect that I did Deontay Wilder and everybody else. So I really have trained well, and I'm prepared very good for this fight. So I'm looking forward to it.
Before the fight with Deontay Wilder, you certainly had your words with each other, but you always said he was the second best heavyweight to you. Where do you think Dillian Whyte falls in line there?
I think Dylan's definitely a top 5 heavyweight for sure. He's definitely in the top 5 heavyweights. He's the number 1 ranked WBC contender. Like everybody knows, he's been the mandatory challenger for like 147 years. So yeah, he deserves his shot. He's getting his shot at the title, and that's it. It's not much more we can say. Dylan's definitely a top 5 heavyweight, and if he beats me, he'll be ranked number 1. So all to play for.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. Andy's up next. Andy Purewheel. Andy?
Tyson, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Tyson, how you doing?
I'm good, mate.
Good stuff. Tyson, I was just wondering, obviously, throughout your career, we've seen you boxing various ways, whether you're orthodox, southpaw, on the back foot, coming forwards, getting rough, getting involved. To counteract what you feel Dillian's best at, how do you feel you'll approach the fight to be successful against him?
We'll make that decision as soon as the first bell goes. So it's up to Dylan, really. Whatever he wants to do, then we'll accommodate him, because that's what good champions do. We adapt to the situation, the environment that we're in.
Tyson, I'm also just one more. I'm just also interested to know, throughout your career, you've been used to kind of, especially recently, those big fight build-ups where you've had interactions with your opponent. Granted, in the third Wilder fight, Deontay wasn't as forthcoming as what maybe people would have thought. Do you feel like does it feel like it's as big a fight to you going in with Dillian as what it could be if he had been more involved in the build-up, if he had maybe turned up to the announcement press conference and what have you?
I don't think it really matters, to be honest, because if the fighters speak a lot or they don't, it doesn't really matter when they get in the ring. After that first bell goes, it doesn't matter what he said, what I said. It's all down to the fists and the game plans and who does what on the night. So whether the opponent wants to talk a lot or they don't, I know it's a big fight. We sold 94,000 tickets. So we're definitely going to put a show on, and I'm looking forward to a massive night of boxing.
Andy, thank you. Up next, Danny Flexen. Danny.
Hey, Tyson. How you doing?
How you doing, Big Dan?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Why do you think Dillian's now changed his mind about participating in the pre-fight media stuff? Why do you think now's the time that he's decided to get involved?
I think fight week and everyone's excited. He's done his training. He took himself away in Portugal for the full fight camp. He lives over there, so he's been just keeping himself to himself, and he's been doing his training, focusing on that. So now the training must be finished. He's interacting into the fight week and doing his bit, playing the part. We all have a part to play.
Does any part of you miss the kind of back and forth that you get at a traditional press conference between the two of you? You often get the better of fighters in that context.
Not really, because it was only an announcement press conference. It wasn't the actual press conference for the fight. I'm sure the fight week press conference, we'll be talking to each other then. You know, the first initial press conference wasn't really a big thing. It was months away from the fight, and both fighters had to go into training camps for the whole time. So it didn't really mean much, to be fair, anyway. But it was what it was. I thought I handled it pretty good myself on my own, single-handedly. Sold out Wembley Stadium on me. Didn't do a bad job, to be fair.
Do you get anything from the face-offs? Because there's been a lot of talk about whether he'll participate in a face-off at the presser or the weigh-in. Do you take anything from the face-offs with your opponents?
Not really, to be fair. It's all typical boxing stuff. You know, it's, what do we call it? It's like what boxers do. They stand up, they look at each other in the face, they get head-to-head. It's all the old cliche, isn't it? Oh, don't look at me. Whoever looks away first is a pussy, and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's, oh, you shove me, I shove you, I grab him by the throat. I actually think that fighters should have a massive sanction put on them by the boards when they start acting up at press conferences and weigh-ins. They're grabbing each other by the throat with no intentions of actually doing anything, because they think that's what sells tickets. They think, like, if I get up at a press conference and grab a guy by the throat lightly, then, oh, that's what sells. Well, that's not what sells. People do this today because they can't talk. They've got zero talking ability. So they think that grabbing a guy's T-shirt is going to help sell a fight and get people interested, but it doesn't. It's actually pathetic. Let me grab this guy's T-shirt. Me and Sugar Hill was actually talking about this recently. Like, let me just run off the stage and try and hit somebody or grab a guy by the throat. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a professional sport. We're all adults here. We're not kindergarten school children. And the more I think about it, the more it makes sense for these the border control of the different countries to act, because I think it's out of order, all the childish behaviour around adult sporting events.
Thank you, Danny. Good questions. We have Charlie Parsons up next. Charlie.
Tyson, how are you? Thank you for your time.
All right, Mosh, how are you?
Good, mate, good. You started your career Nottingham Arena on the undercard of Carl Froch, a man who also, as we all know, boxed at Wembley. You go forward next week. You break the record attendance for Wembley. When you look at how
my boy.
When you look at how your career's unfolded, and obviously still unfolding now, how proud are you? You know, you go from the undercard of a man who boxed at that stadium to breaking records at that stadium for the World Heavyweight Championship.
It's been a fantastic journey, you know. It's been a long, hard road, and the Lord knows it has been. It's been tough. It's been a lot of left and right turns, and I'm so happy that the way it's all gone. I've had a great career. I've been in England. I've been every different champion there is to be, every single world champion there is to be. I boxed at MGM, T-Mobile, Staples Centre, Madison Square Garden, the MEN Arena, and now I'm boxing at Wembley Stadium. Does it get any better than that? I don't think so. I think it's been an absolutely fantastic career. 13 going on 14 years career. Stayed unbeaten throughout my campaign. Boxed the most difficult fighters of my day. And And I just keep going, don't I? Just keep going, just keep rolling on.
And speaking of rolling on, I know we have nearly 100 media members on this call. We appreciate your patience. Again, you can raise your hand or message privately to Evan Korn to try to get your question in here with Tyson while we still have him. And again, stay on the call. When Tyson is done, we will bring in Dillian Whyte. Gareth, I guess I don't even need to say your last name. You're like Madonna, right? You just go by one name.
Yeah, right.
Gareth.
Christina.
Hi, Russell.
With the friggin' sunglasses. It's evening over there.
It is evening, but it is sunny. Tyson, can I ask you, do you enjoy the distraction from this point onwards? And what is the biggest distraction for you in fight week as you're preparing mentally for, and again, a very important, maybe the most important fight of your career?
Yeah, I enjoy the build-up to the fights. You know, it's show business, isn't it? This is what I was built for. I really do enjoy all the hard work's been done, training's been done. And I really enjoy the build-up to the fight, the big fight weekend. Everybody's excited. Everybody's got the jitters. Who's going to win? Can't wait. Are you watching it on Saturday night? All the lads around the pub, all the lads in the building. It's fantastic. I absolutely love all the press conferences, the head-to-heads. The whole fight week's amazing for me. It's always been an amazing experience. And I'm actually privileged to be a part of something that I'm good at and that I enjoy, the build up to a massive fight. For me, it's not like, oh, I'm going to the guillotine and going to have a fight. It's like, damn, I'm going to be on TV. And it's just amazing. I'm really happy to be a part of getting paid for a job that I absolutely love to do. And I think when you're in that position in your life, if you get paid for something that you love to do, you probably do it for free anyway, then you're in a fantastic position. And it's been an amazing roller coaster journey, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
And Tyson, hand on heart now, when the bell rings Saturday night, St George's Day, Wembley Stadium, we're all there, 94,000 people, millions watching at home. When that bell rings in your mind, tell us what you're visualising you do to Dillian Whyte.
I don't really visualise anything. You know, a lot of fighters, they have tunnel vision and they envisage themselves winning fights or whatever. I just take it all in. I enjoy the moment because, you know, I'm obsessed with time. And I'm obsessed even more with moments in time. And as human beings, we only have a certain amount of moments in time. And these are my moments in time. And I got to take every second as a blessing, because that's what it is. I've been blessed abundantly to be at this stage in my career and be in this position in my life. And it's all time that you can never get back. Once it's passed, you never reverse that clock back. So I enjoy it. A lot of people look forward to what they're going to do after the fight. They're going to go out, they're going to go on holiday, spend time with the family, but not me. I like to enjoy every second I'm in that ring. And for me, it goes very quick. Even if it's a 12-round fight, it goes like 2 minutes. I wish that I would do a fight for like a full day long, like a full day of fighting. That would be more my style, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy getting punched and punching someone in the face. It's absolutely fantastic. And for people who know what I'm talking about, they'll understand what I'm talking about. But from the average person looking in the thing, that's something a lunatic would say. But, you know, I really enjoy it all. I enjoy the fight game, or else I still wouldn't be in it after all these years. I really do love it. And it's probably the only time I'm actually truly happy. I'm really happy when I'm in the boxing ring getting thumped in the face and you know, have to climb off the canvas, or a big dramatic finish, or a big dramatic something's happened in the fight. It's all very entertaining for me in my life, and I really look forward to it all.
Many more questions. There's hundreds of people on the call, so I'll pass it over. Thank you very much.
No problem. Take it easy, guys.
Tyson, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. I mean, you finally get to prepare with Sugar for someone other than Deontay Wilder. I know he's been excited about preparing for somebody new and getting you ready, and then having a training camp too there in the UK as opposed to Vegas.
Yeah, for sure. Sugar's really enjoying himself. He's had a fantastic time in this camp. He's in great shape. He's doing 100 press-ups a day. He really is enjoying it. We are enjoying it. You know, we are the dynamic duo. People know that. Our training camps are not grueling. They're not like doom and gloom. We're having laughs. We're dancing in the gym. We're singing songs. We're training in underwear. It's fantastic. You know, I don't think there's ever been a boxing duo like me and him who have more fun while in a serious training camp for the heavyweight championship of the world or any championship of the world. We really do enjoy ourselves. It shouldn't be doom and gloom. Like I say, you should enjoy your job to the utmost. And we really do. We really do enjoy ourselves, and we enjoy every moment because we know we're very blessed and lucky to be having this moment in time. And today is our time. So we enjoy it.
And you've had some epic walkout moments here in the States. Do you have something already in mind, something special planned for Wembley on the 23rd?
Yeah, we've got a special ring walk entrance planned, and it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be worthy of the Wembley Stadium, 94,000 fans.
Any hints?
Can't hint, but you're going to have to tune in and find out.
I tried, you guys. I tried. All right, TC Martin is up next. TC, you ready to go?
Yes. Tyson, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, so just to go on that point that you were talking about, how much you enjoy every aspect of the fight itself, the build-up, the training, and everything. And like everyone's talked about, we've been so used to you with the banter, and I know that you love hyping the fights, and you do like the mental part of it, you know, getting in your opponent's head. And not having Dillian Whyte there in front, you got to give us a little bit, my friend. What if Whyte was sitting right across from you right now? You were standing face to face. Give us what would you say to him?
You know, you never know what you're going to say or react to somebody until you're in front of them. People talk a lot of stuff, good game. But when you're in front of a man and you're looking in his eyes and he can do anything to you at that moment, you really don't know what you do until you're faced with that situation. Now, I could just say I'd say this and say that, but in hindsight, I wouldn't really know until I was there in front of Dillian Whyte. And that's going to be this week or next week, rather. So we'll find out.
Last few fights have been here in Vegas, and has your training regimen changed a little bit? Because we know before you would train some there, then you would come and train some here. Tell us what that's been like for the last 6 or 8 weeks.
It's good. We always like to do different training methods. We've been playing a lot of golf for this fight. We've been doing a lot of driving the greens up on the golf course here in Lancashire, in Morecambe Bay. And I think that's really improved my right hand and putting the shoulder into the shot and really driving it through. Driving that ball like 400 yards. It really does help. And we've been doing a lot of that. We practice a lot. We maybe shoot 150 to 200 balls a day as part of training. So we always do something a little bit different in every different camp. Yeah.
Thank you, TC. Up next is Matt from Into Boxing. Matt?
Hi, Tyson. Thanks for giving us some of your time.
Hi, Matt. Are you into boxing?
Definitely am, but I definitely am. I wanted to ask you, this is the first fight where you'll have your dad present there in the arena. How pleasing is that for you? Obviously, because you've had them trips away to Vegas and he's not been able to be there. How pleasing is it to have him there with you?
Yeah, it's good that my dad can come to the fights, and I think my dad may be on the undercard as starting. So he might be too drunk to see the fight by the time he gets in it. His first victory since the 90s. So he might be absolutely blinded by the time it comes around. But yeah, it's good to have my dad there, obviously. My dad's done a full camp with me this time. He's been in camp with me the whole time, watching over things and taking a few heart attacks in camp and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's been good. Overall, we've had a good, really good training camp, and I'm sure he's enjoyed it. And to be a part of it, where he's been a lot away for such a long time, out of the training camp. I think the last camp he was at was in 2018 when I boxed last year in the UK. So it's been a while since he's been to a training camp because I've had all the rest of the fights in America lately. So it's been good job, me dad here. He's been a good asset to the camp, and he's kept everyone on the straight and narrow.
And finally, the last one from me. How big a role has faith played in your comeback since you've obviously come back from the mental health struggle? Your relationship with God, and obviously, how has that played a part, throughout this journey?
It's always played a massive part in me. Without faith, we have nothing. So I've had faith from the beginning that I'd be heavyweight champion of the world. I had faith when I was 400 pounds, 28 stone, that I'd regain heavyweight championship of the world. So my faith is unshakable. And I'm very, very, very strong with the faith. So it can never be taken away from me. You can take anything away from a man. You can take his money. You can take his fame. You can even take his freedom. But one thing you can never take is a man's faith until you kill him. So that's how she rolls.
Thank you, Matt. A couple more here before we let Tyson go. Cole Whiston, Cole.
Hi, guys. Thank you. From Boxing World Weekly. Good to speak to you, Tyson. Whyte is obviously a hard puncher, but you're no stranger to that. But do you think after the shots that Wilder landed in your trilogy that any man can keep you down?
No, I think when you're blessed by God like me, it's hard to keep a man down like this. You know, people have been trying to put me down my whole life. When I was a little kid, 10-year-old, I weighed about 4 stone in weight. I don't know what that is in pounds. I was very light. I was skinny. And people would put me down then. People used to put me down in school because I was stupid. Didn't work. People put me down all my life because I was tall and lanky and fat. And then people put me down. He's slow, he's chinless, he's this, he's that. Then you go and win world championships and they still put you down. And then you have a mental breakdown and they put you down even worse. And then you balloon up to 400 pounds and they say, this man is finished. And then you come back from that and they started to put you down again and again and again. And the moral to the story is life will always try and bring you down, but you should never, ever give in to it and keep fighting and keep battling on, because tomorrow's a new day and you never know what it's going to bring. And anyone out there who's suffering and they feel down in themselves, the word is, yes, you can. You can come back from anything and you can be well again. So there we have it. Never let anyone put you down in life, because you never know what you can achieve unless you try.
That's awesome, Tyson. And my final question is actually for Frank. In your illustrious career and Tyson's illustrious career, where does this fight rank in excitement for a Fury fight?
Frank may have gone. May have left.
Frank.
George,
Frank may have gone.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, Cole. Tyson, we got to let you go. Your opponent is on the line, getting ready to join in for what will be his first media experience. So your parting words to everybody that's joining us, to the fans, until you see them next week, fight week.
Yep. Fantastic, guys. Thank you for all the questions, and give Dillian Whyte all my love and kisses.
Yeah, I'll wish him a happy belated birthday for you as well.
All
no
the best.
problem. Thank you, Tyson. Appreciate you.
All the best. All the best, darling. Bye-bye.